about my setup for selfies with the dog with the Canon Mirrorless Camera. And if you shop through any of the links in the video description below, I will get a commission at no extra cost to you, and by subscribing to the channel both will help. Thank you. So I've got myself the Canon R6 Mark II with an 85mm Canon RF lens, just the f2. It's not too expensive, the lens, for taking photographs of my own dog with, so that we can go and do, you know, it's not about the selfie, it's more about this dog can't be let off the lead and I want photos of him, so I'm going to have to either be in the photo or hold him and erase myself out of the photo. So it's like doing a selfie. Yes, I've got the Canon R10, but this is the camera I actually really wanted. And you can do the same, I say, with most mirrorless Canon cameras. I previously had a lot of dogs, and I used to go out with one dog at a time with the Canon DSLR 6D and again an 85mm lens, which is why straight away I've just bought the 85mm lens, because that always suited what I was doing. It suited using my mobile phone with Canon Camera Connect. That 85mm focal length seemed to suit being away from the camera, 85mm, to be in the frame, and the mobile phone app to work with the camera. I've also bought a new tripod, because my old tripod was for video, old video, what had to be landscape, and I could never do portraits, I had to chop the photos up. So I've got this small rig tripod for the R6 to sit on, so we can do the selfies. And obviously it's going to turn so I can do portrait as well as landscape. But you can go out and buy a new camera, a new lens, tripod, have your mobile phone, have the app, but if you don't have the right camera settings or some concept of, or an idea when you go out, what you want, look where the light's coming from, be able to compose your photo, you know, your picture, have an idea where you actually need the camera, it might be pretty pointless. And you also need the camera settings in to be able to get the photo which you want. So we need the mobile phone, and you want the Canon Camera Connect app. In the Wi-Fi section, you want iPhone. And then you're going to connect it up. You're going to find your make of camera within the Canon Camera Connect app. And it is really quick and easy to set up, it really is. And once you are in with that app with your camera, you want remote live shooting state. And what I found, dogs in the way, what I found in the past with the 6D is if you're in an area where you had no Wi-Fi, nothing would work. But now you've got Bluetooth within these new mirrorless cameras, or maybe in some of the older models, I'm not sure. And it seems to work if you haven't got Wi-Fi. So there we are, we're back in. And then what you're going to go and do, you set your camera up on a tripod, get yourself in position, because the app, I'll show you, come a bit closer, the app is going to allow you to control the camera, all the settings, and press the shutter button through your mobile phone. It's good for wildlife as well too, if you want to set this up and then go and hide and use your mobile phone to get birds landing. But anyway, we're doing dogs, aren't we, today? So that's how you connect it up, if you know what your camera settings are and what photo you want to go and take. And something about photography, that's how easy it is. And I say quite a lot of the mirrorless cameras do have this feature. It's just what level of camera or how much you want to spend. Hang on. To which camera you're going to go and get and lens you're going to use. And when it comes to the camera, sit down. I will use this for selfies as though I'm just going to go and do a normal dog photo shoot. I will either use AV when it comes to the selfies because it's easier when I'm holding this dog, or manual. Either way, you can control everything through this app. Servo, so the camera's continuously focusing. Well, I'll have the single focal point set within the camera, and then you pretty much press the screen of your phone to focus. So if I want to focus on the dog, I'll touch the dog and the focal point will move within the camera through my mobile phone. So now the drive mode, and I'll keep referring to years back, but what are you eating? Oh, I'll let you live a minute. Previously, when I used to do this with the Canon 6D, you could take one photo, 10-second timer, click, it will take a photo. When you're doing it, you know, at a distance with your mobile phone with Canon Camera Connect. But now, with this R6 Mark II, and other ones I presume, you can take more than one shot, basically. So it's on a 10-second timer. This one will take 10 shots. It's like going out and machine gunning, you know, with a dog in action. You're going to get more shots. I would even use that for portraits, because it's amazing how within those 10 shots, you might blink, dog might blink. You've got a choice then, and you've not got to keep getting your phone out of your pocket and pressing the button. You could use 10-second timer for one shot, you could use 2-second timer. There's different ways of using it. If I'm going to erase myself out of the photo, I don't need 10 seconds to get ready. I can actually stand with the dog and just press the button like I would on the camera. I don't need 10 seconds, do I, if I'm erasing myself out? Compared to if I'm going to sit with the dog, I need 10 seconds to put my phone in the pocket and recompose myself if I want to be in the shot. But it's really good. It's quite new to me, this camera, but I love it already. It's exactly what I wanted. Now, it doesn't matter whether I want to take a selfie or not. I don't actually want to be in the photos, you know. Look at me. It's more about the dog. I've got a website for the dogs. He's a show dog, and I do need photos. I handle the dog in the show ring, so I do need to be on the photos so people know who I am as well. So although I call it a selfie, it is taking a selfie, but it's more about the dog. And sometimes I have to be in the photos. Well, going back to that drive mode, you can do action shots. I'll try and give you an example in a minute of an action shot and portrait mode. So I think that's the camera settings. But within these mirrorless cameras, a lot of them, including the R6 Mark II, you've got the eye detection. So you've got the tracking. And it's quite amazing that even doing these selfies, it does pick it up. You can have people, vehicles, animals. So if you're just doing dogs, you can put it on the animals for animal eye detection. But they also have auto. And if me and the dog are in the photo, I've put it onto auto, so at least it's going to lock onto one of us rather than a tree or something else. And it seems to be working. So, let me give you an example of how it's going to work. Right, we're connected. Let's see what we can get. Now my actual camera settings, because we've set the camera up. Oh, please work. Let's have a look. I'm going to try f4. I'll just give you the example of taking a photo before I go into any detail of why I'm using f4. I'm going to up the ISO a bit more. It's going to let more light in because the light's dropped. And on here I can't see my shutter speed, but it doesn't really matter for portrait that you could start with something like about 1/200th of a second. Oh yeah, 1/400th of a second. Now the dog's bored. I said how good it is. It's like acting up. Here we go. Right, that's it. Sit down. Don't want to be too far away from your lens, from your camera. But I don't want too long a lens. Oh well, we've got quite a close up here. Let's just go for it. Is a good boy? Hang on. There we go, 10 shots. Oh, that don't look bad. Shame about the biscuit. Now, if I try an action shot, while everything's working, for an action shot, what we need is a faster shutter speed. So, to do that, we're going to increase the ISO. What have we taken it up to? No idea. It's not telling me. Oh, that's too much. It's going to depend on your light, what's available, to what you're going to need to put it up to. But I had that to about 1,250th of a second, which should work for an action shot. But really, I need to stand further back. Buzzy, Buzzy, come here, good boy. Right. He's bored as well. Good boy. Oh, God. What's you done? Head up, yeah. Good boy. Let's see if we got anything there. I think that was in focus. God. There. Now, just a little tip here, or a safety thing. These dogs are quite hyper and launch up all the time. It's their speciality, especially when they're young dogs. And if you know what your dog is going to do, understand your dog, you'll be fine doing things like that. I know how to wind him up and what he's going to do, but in short, somebody at a dog show not long ago, their dog did jump up like that and he landed and broke his leg when he went back down. So just be careful. Go within your dog's limits to what kind of thing you want to do action shot wise. I just know he's going to throw himself at me and have to let him land at me and don't push him back down. Okay, so that's how you can do a portrait and that's how you can do an action shot, and that's how I set my camera up basically. Now just a couple more bits quickly. I've looked at these. I think they are in focus, but what I've done is cut my feet off. That's a bit of a problem. Ideally you want the whole of the dog and the whole of myself in. That's why you're going to look properly. The dog's bored, he's had enough now. You have to know when enough's enough with the dog as well. He'd already had a massive walk before I came so that he wasn't too stupid while I did the video, and I've worn him out that much. But still, I should have looked properly at that photo to make sure we were going to be in, completely in the shot rather than chopping my feet and his feet off. And why I used f4, I bought an f2 lens, it says 85mm, RF 85mm lens is f2. f2 is going to give you that nice blurry background. You're going to step off the page, you know, that's the idea. But if you use it on f2, and basically how I'm sat now and where the dog sat, if I took the photo at f2, I would be in focus probably, and the dog's not going to be in focus. So if you want to use your lens on f2, you need to be dead level with the dog, you and the dog exactly level, or they're called the same focal plane. Even using f2, if you have got your camera too close, or your lens too close, you're photographing the dog, or both of you, the dog's nose will probably be in focus and the eyes will not be. As you look at the back of the camera, you'll think it's fine. When you get it on a big screen and look, it probably won't be in focus. So by using f4, more is going to be in focus, basically. I'm just giving myself a bit more leeway, even 5.6. f8 is a good number for photographing a dog's head, depending what lens you're using. 85mm and up to 200mm, f8 is good to get everything in focus. But yeah, also make sure you actually get your subject within the frame. But this was an example. It's been a bit of hard work, to be honest. So anyway, keep your eye out for any decent photos I do take with this. We'll get there. But you do have to have an idea of what you want to actually take before you get out there and bore the dog to death. Because it doesn't take long for the dog to be already he's seen the camera and flop down. I hope I've not got a dog what wants to do that, because I bought the camera for him. Okay,